in the animal propensities, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. And hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. The first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and discrimination of the self from matter. However, Krishna can be known only by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the supreme person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of the Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripad Sankaracharya, has admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna even though one has transcendental realization of the impersonal Brahman. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know Krishna, although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy. They cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy as the non-devotees class of men proclaim, then why do they not take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti may be easy, but when it is practiced factually, according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aitkantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayava Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, the Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. It is not possible for the Brahman-realized impersonalist or the Paramatma-realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yasoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muyanti yat suraya, mam tu veda nakaschana. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says. And if one does know him, or Krishna, then samahatma sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is, tattvata, or as he is, even though one is a great scholar or philosopher. Only the pure devotees know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna, in the cause of all causes, in his omnipotence and opulence, and in his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization, and the devotees alone can realize him as he is. Therefore, as it is said, Atakshi Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Grayam Indriyai Sevon Mukehi Jivado Swayam eva spurat yada. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Okay, so this is a very interesting verse and purport. It's all about how you can understand who Krishna is and how you can become an intimate servant of the Lord. And that's why it says, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So to become a genuine devotee of Krishna means that you have to be ready to surrender yourself completely to the Lord. Now, how do you surrender yourself completely to the Lord? You have to engage in the Lord's service. Just like when there's a husband and wife, it's usually understood that the wife will surrender herself to the husband. Of course, it may not be like that anymore, but that was the traditional thing, that the wife would follow her husband and would do whatever he said, and together they would raise their children, and they would have family and so forth as a team. Not as like a dictator, but as a team working together to raise their children and to make sure that they're properly educated and so forth. So here, as in this verse today, it says that it's something rare for one to become a genuine devotee of the Lord. And to understand Krishna is a very rare thing. But it's not impossible. It's very possible if we are sincere about chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the great mantra that leads to liberation from the cycle of birth and death. So if we take up chanting Hare Krishna seriously, then is a very good chance to be able to understand Krishna, and there's a very good chance that Krishna will reveal himself to you. You cannot force Krishna to reveal himself, but you can surrender to Krishna, and then out of love and devotion, he can reveal himself to you, and now all your problems are over because you will have an intimate relationship with the Lord. The intimacy of love and devotion for Krishna is a very, very sacred thing. And we should not take it as maybe something that's lighthearted. We should be very serious about serving Krishna with love and devotion. And then this is what Krishna is looking for. You can't bribe Krishna with money. You can't scare Krishna with threats or anything like that. But you can seduce Krishna with love and devotion. So love and devotion is the whole purpose of spiritual life. When we surrender ourselves to Krishna with love and devotion, and we engage in his service, then Krishna takes the responsibility to guide us and help us go back to the spiritual world. And will make sure that we make the right decisions so that we don't get confused in this material life. Most people are confused because they have to, somehow or other, navigate through all the problems of life. But someone who is Krishna conscious is not confused, not scared, not timid. They have full faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the controller of everything, and not even a blade of grass moves without the mercy of the Lord. So therefore, they are not what you would say timid. They engage in Krishna consciousness with full faith and dedication, and are not in any way intimidated by failure. Sometimes there is failure in life, but it doesn't discourage a devotee. In fact, when you fail, you learn a lot of things, so that if you continue to engage in Krishna consciousness, you will eventually not fail anymore. You learn from your mistakes. So failure means not being able to follow all the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness. There are four, let's say, most important rules and regulations. And these are the four things that you have to admit to and say that you will never do again when you get initiated. No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. So when you get initiated in Krishna consciousness, you'll be asked, what are the four regulative principles, right? So you have to follow these four things. And it's good to follow them because it'll save a lot of trouble in your life. Most trouble is by engaging in sinful activities. But you want to give up most trouble, then you have to take the Krishna consciousness, where you're no longer engaged in any sinful activities. Now, some people engage in sinful activities without knowing that they're sinful. That is because of ignorance. But the first thing that we should learn if we want to have a spiritual life is we have to give up sinful activities. Meat eating is a sinful activity. Illicit sex, of course, is a sinful activity. And intoxication is a sinful activity. Meat eating, gambling. Gambling is also a sinful activity. So nobody ever died by giving up these four things, but many people have died by engaging in those four types of sinful activities. So we should desire to have a peaceful and happy life by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, besides that, we should learn to protect cows, just like we have a cow here right now. Radhika, she's a very, very sweet cow, right? She's sitting down, she listens to the lectures. You can see every once in a while her ears will come up a little bit because there's something that we say that interests her. Oh, I didn't say anything that interests her yet. And I always bring her whenever I speak, whether I go to people's houses or I come to the temple. Why? Because we love cows. Guess what? Krishna was a cowherd boy. He loved cows also. He would spend his whole day taking cows out to pasture. And he would play with them, and then he would bring them back home to his mother and also feed them and bathe them and in every way be a cowherd boy. So today, most people don't have that opportunity to be a cowherd boy or cowherd girl. And the so-called cowboys and cowgirls, they are meat eaters. They kill the cows. But we don't. We don't want to kill any cow. We want to love the cow. So Radhika is a cow that you can cuddle. You can kiss Radhika. She doesn't mind that. And you can pet her. And then you finally realize, wait a minute, this is a very special cow. She has no fear of human beings. Why? Because she knows that we will not kill her. We will not hurt her in any way. That's why she's sitting here peacefully. If we brought in a cow, let's say, from a farm, the cow would be running around trying to get away from us, right? But Radhika is sitting here very, very peacefully, chewing a little bit of a banana that someone gives her, and she is the ultimate, let's say, spiritual cow, because she's very peaceful, and she is very, let's say, she reciprocates the petting and loving that we have. And you can also kiss her. Is that right, Radhika? Yeah, she moved her ears. Yeah. So she has big ears. All right, so this verse today says, Manusyanam sahasresu kaschit jatati siddhaye jatatam api siddhanam kaschit mam veti tatvata. Out of many thousands among men and women, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. That means that to know Krishna is a very special thing. You can only know Krishna through performing devotional service to the Lord, where you actually engage in chanting the Lord's names, in making offerings to the Lord of nice foodstuffs, and also glorifying the Lord by chanting his qualities. And in that way, Krishna takes a special interest in you. When Krishna takes a special interest in you, you will no longer have any problems in life. What are the problems in life? Well, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Those are 4 problems. And then there's a whole bunch of other problems. You can become free of all the types of problems by seriously taking up the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and engaging in practical devotional service. What is practical devotional service? Well, it's when you are engaging in activities that are pleasing to Krishna. So, Krishna is very pleased when his devotee chants his glories. Krishna is very pleased when the devotee makes sacrifices for the Lord. Like, for example, now this is the period of Kartik. So people make sacrifices during the period of Kartik. They might have fasting. They might come regularly to the temple. They might have do different types of tapasya for the pleasure of the Lord. And in this way, you make spiritual progress. Whenever you sacrifice eating, sense gratification, and use your senses to please Krishna, then Krishna becomes very happy and will help you in all your endeavors. So the reciprocal relationship with Krishna, which is called devotional service, is actually the real purpose of human life. Human beings are not meant to eat, sleep, mate, and defend like animals. Yeah, you have to do those things to a certain degree, but there's a 5th thing that we have to do, and that is to learn to love Krishna. If we achieve love of Krishna, that is the perfection of human life, and that you're guaranteed to go back to the spiritual world when you die. But no one really dies. We have an eternal soul. It's only the body that dies. So when you learn all these things, you're no longer afraid of birth, death, old age, and disease. You become very, very confident that in all situations, Krishna is going to protect you. And also, you take a special interest in cows. You know that Krishna himself is a cowherd boy. He spends all his days, all his let's say, activities are based around protecting cows and playing with the cows, taking them out to pasture, bringing them back, feeding them, and massaging them, and giving them nice green grass and so forth. So the whole life of Krishna in Vrindavan is a very idyllic life, and it's based around protecting cows and loving cows, and also chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. When you chant Krishna's names, you are associating directly with Krishna. So if you want to have that type of intimacy with Krishna, you take up the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and you eat only vegetarian food that is first offered to Krishna with love and devotion, and then Krishna offers it back as his prasad. So we should only eat prasadam, sanctified vegetarian food that has first been offered to Krishna, and then he offers it back to you as his special mercy. So if you eat only Krishna prasadam, you become purified. Say. Now, every type of food is not prasadam. I once went to a program in somebody's house, and after I finished the lecture, the lady of the house said, "Prabhu, now come and have some prasadam." I said, "Okay, but tell me something first." And she said, "What is that?" I said, "Did you cook the food?" She said, "No." I said, "Where did you get it?" "Well, I got it from Taj Mahal restaurant." I said, "Oh." I said, who was the cook?" She said, "Ahmed." I said, "Well, I'm going to skip your prasadam because it's not prasadam. Ahmed doesn't know how to offer the food to Krishna, or he doesn't have any idea of what, Krishna prasadam is." So we're not interested in Ahmed food. We're more interested in Krishna prasadam, which means that you have only vegetarian food, but it has to also be offered with love and devotion to Krishna. And then Krishna offers it back to you as his prasadam. It has nothing to do with restaurants and nothing to do with, let's say, professionalism. You can take anything. You can take an apple. You can take any type of vegetable and offer it to Krishna with love and devotion. It'll turn into prasadam. Now, prasadam is a supernatural product that can purify not only your body, but also your thoughts. And that's very important. So we should be very interested in knowing how to have prasadam in our daily life. That is, you get the vegetarian foods without onion and garlic, and you wash them, and then you cook them, and then you offer the food to Krishna in a little altar in your house, and you pray, "My dear Lord Krishna, please accept this offering I'm making to you. Please bless this food and offer it back to me so that I can also become your devotee and be engaged in your service." So simply a little prayer like that, and that effort of first offering your food to Krishna and then accepting it back as prasadam, you become purified, you see. But if you just eat, that means that you don't recognize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are more interested in your own sense gratification. So in that way, you become what we would say cursed by the indulgence in the whatever belongs to Krishna. You indulge in those things without recognizing the proprietorship of Krishna. So whenever you make an offering to Krishna, you're recognizing his proprietorship of everything. And therefore, if you just eat food without offering it first to Krishna, you become a thief. Now, a thief is someone who is punishable. And the punishment is that you're not going to be protected by Krishna's mercy. Therefore, you're open to all kinds of problems in life. But if you're protected by Krishna's mercy, because you are always recognizing that Krishna is the proprietor of everything, your body, your food, your house, your money, everything. So therefore, you have to recognize Krishna's proprietorship by offering first to Krishna, and then Krishna will recognize your surrendering to him, and then he gives you back Krishna prasad. And when you eat the prasadam, you become purified. So prasadam is not just food. It's a very special, transcendental ingredient, and it may look like ordinary food, but if you properly offered it to Krishna, it becomes a supernatural substance that purifies you, and because of that, you become blessed. The blessing is chanting Hare Krishna and eating only Krishna prasadam and always engaging in devotional service. That is the real blessing. Everyone comes and says, Prabhuji, please bless me. I'm having problems. Well, the blessing is chanting Hare Krishna. The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will get rid of all your problems if you chant. But if you say, I can't, then it's not going to stop anything. But if you say, I can chant Hare Krishna and I will chant Hare Krishna, then you're going to make spiritual progress and Krishna will protect you. And that's the best protection. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Did you say Hare Krishna? Yeah. Yes? Did you say Hare Krishna? Yeah. Very good. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Very good. Haribol, Haribol. How old are you? How many fingers? 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. Whoa, you're getting to be a big boy. You like the cow? See, children should grow up with cows. That way they become very, very intelligent. And the cow is a sacred cow because we love her and we take care of her, you see. And then you suddenly realize, some people think cow is my food and dog is my friend. But it should be the other way around. You should eat dogs, but protect cows. And even better than that, don't eat dogs. Just protect cows. That's the best. But today, people think that cows, I can eat cows, and dogs, I love dogs. So this is, and they especially like hot dogs. Why do they call it a hot dog? It's nonsense. Unfortunately, there's so many nonsense things going on in life today. So we see here now, look, Radhika's a little bit tired, right? Whenever she bows her head like that, it means she's trying to take rest. But she's a very sweet cow. And by petting her and associating with her, you become very, you become very enamored to be with a cow. If you go to a normal farm where there are cows, you try and pet them and they'll run away from you because they don't trust human beings because they're being mistreated and they know that they're going to be killed eventually. But someone like Radhika, she knows that she's never going to be killed, and she's friendly to all types of people who like to pet her. So therefore, when there are happy cows and happy women, there's prosperity. But if there are cows that are being mishandled and women that are not happy, it's a disaster in society. So we should always have happy cows and happy women. Then society will be very peaceful. Is that right? Why? Because if the women are not happy, the men are not going to be happy also. So to learn how to become happy, you have to be Krishna conscious. You chant Krishna conscious. You chant the Hare Krishna mantra. You follow the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness by engaging in devotional service, and you regularly come to the temple to hear lectures. Now you are practicing Sanatan Dharma, the eternal activity that brings you closer and closer to God. Sanatan Dharma is the real original culture of Bharat. So we should take it seriously. And it was based on worship of Krishna and protection of cows. Krishna himself is a cowherd boy. Haribol, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So Krishna is a cowherd boy. He takes cows out every day to pasture and plays with them and then brings them back home. So if Krishna is a cowherd boy and he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what does that mean? That means we should also be able to do this. Pet the cow, feed the cow, brush the cow, and cuddle the cow. That means that we are very close to Krishna, because Krishna, that's what Krishna does. So this is a living example of how to become a devotee, where you protect cows and you chant Hare Krishna, and you are engaged in devotional service in this lifetime. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Are there any questions anyone would like to ask? So the verse we read today, it says, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Well, that's a factual statement. It's a rare thing to know Krishna. That's why we should become very interested in knowing Krishna, because then if you take the trouble to know him and to serve Krishna with love and devotion, you become an exceptional person in this lifetime. So please come regularly to the temple, chant Hare Krishna, and be happy. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Are there any questions anyone would like to ask? Don't be afraid to ask a question. Yes.
First question is for devotional service.
That's the first question. That means there's going to be a second question also. Okay, go ahead.
So, for devotional services, like if we go for Navada Bhakti, Sravanam, Kirtanam, it starts from there. Sravanam and then Kirtanam. My understanding is that devotional service is first Sravanam.
Shravanam means hearing.
Hearing.
And Kirtanam means repeating. Yes.
But here in our temple, most like outsiders who come, we we suggest them to start from some service like which we can see it, like take this prasadam and serve them, or do something in kitchen or something like that. So will that go under first devotional service? Like
of course. They're doing service, right?
That service versus the Navada Bhakti service, where those all things fit into?
I didn't understand.
I mean, like Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam.
Okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam. Shravanam means hearing, Kirtanam means repeating about Krishna.
But when other people, outside visitors, when they come, they do some service in temple, in kitchen or any prasadam or in food truck or however they serve.
Yes, yeah.
So where exactly, which category it will come into?
Where what?
Which category of Navada Bhakti it will fall into? Which
category?
Huh?
It's called Krishna consciousness. They're engaging in Krishna service, right? So service is the life of a devotee. Service to Krishna is the life of a devotee. So if someone comes from outside and you ask them to help you in doing some service for Krishna, they become purified.
And those who are not in the physical fitness to do that kind of service.
Even if they do it mentally, they still get the benefit of engaging in devotional service. There was once a man who was poor, but he wanted to perform opulent service for Krishna, but he didn't have the money. So he heard in a lecture that you could also serve Krishna mentally. So that really, really inspired him. So then, every day he would meditate on serving Krishna with tremendous opulence. Right? Of course, he was poor, but he would be mentally serving Krishna with opulence. And one day he was cooking in his mind, cooking sweet rice, and at one point he was thinking, I have to see if it's not too hot for Krishna, and he touched the sweet rice mentally, right? And it burned his finger, and he woke up from his meditation, and he looked at his fingers, they were burned, right? Then he realized that his mental, let's say, service for the Lord was actually a real thing. It was not something, will-o'-the-wisp, but it was actually real, let's say. So when we meditate sincerely to serve Krishna, even if we don't physically do it, it is also counted as devotional service because our mind is focused on Krishna. That's the whole purpose of life, to focus our mind on Krishna and to offer service to Krishna. So you can do it physically and you can also do it mentally. Right? And that's one history in the Vedic tradition, that this man was actually cooking prasada, cooking sweet rice for Krishna in his mind, and at one point he wanted to touch it to make sure it wasn't too hot, and when he put his finger in his mind in the food that he was cooking, or the sweet rice he was cooking, it burned his finger, and he woke up from his meditation, and he realized that this was real. It was not something that is let's say made up. It was factual. That's how serious his meditation was. So whether we meditate on Krishna or we physically serve Krishna, both are equal if it's done sincerely. So let's say you're being put in jail. Like sometimes earlier on, many years ago, whenever we would go out on Harinam Sankirtan, sometimes the police would arrest us and put us in jail for a day or two. This is a long time ago. And in jail, we would just then meditate, because now we couldn't go to the temple to cook or chant or anything. Well, so therefore, in jail, we meditated, cooking, cleaning, and everything, just as if we were at the temple, right? And we felt very, very ecstatic by doing that. So we didn't stop our devotional service. See, nobody can stop devotional service, because you can also do it mentally, and Krishna accepts the service. Say. So in this way, you realize that Krishna consciousness is not subject to the material world. It's a transcendental activity. And if you take it up seriously, nothing can stop you from being Krishna conscious. Nothing. People can torture you, people can put you in jail or whatever. It never stops you from thinking of Krishna and serving Krishna, because you serve Krishna either physically or mentally. Both are equal. Right? That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah, Haribol.
And second question is based on our today's lecture. These Mayavadis and those who are not devotees, even though they get this Brahman realization, so normally every Jivatma, every living entity is looking for that happiness, right? Always. Like I feel like, okay, if I buy something, then I will be happy. But at some point, okay, that happiness is gone. Again, the mind always tells you that you go for that, then you will be happy. You will be happy like that. Until you come to this Krishna consciousness platform where you actually find that bliss, happiness. So for Mayavadis, what makes them continue in that path? Where exactly do they derive that happiness? I don't know, what do they worship, or what's their thought, line of thought, which gives them that happiness to continue in that journey?
They never really experience happiness. What they experience is absence of suffering. But that's not real happiness. The absence of suffering. That's not real happiness. That's a neutral thing. The positive thing is what you're doing right now. You're petting Radhika, right? And you're hearing about Krishna, and you also engage in devotional service for Krishna. Now you become happy. The absence of suffering is not really happiness. It's a neutral thing. See? Most let's say, religionists are seeking the absence of suffering. The devotee seeks transcendental happiness derived through devotional service of the Lord. That's a different thing than simply being neutral, right? Most people are praying, oh God, please give us our daily bread, and please protect us, and please protect our family, and like that. But the devotee doesn't pray like that. The devotee says, my dear Lord, please let me always be your servant to serve you with love and devotion and glorify your holy name. So at that point, you're now in transcendental consciousness. Transcendental means you're above the mundane rules and regulations of the material world. You are worshiping Krishna with love and devotion. You're not worshiping Krishna as in order to get something from him. You're worshiping Krishna to give your life to him, give your love to him, give everything to him. Say. So when you become a lover of Krishna, you're willing to sacrifice everything to please the Lord. This is different than simply being a religious person. Like most people, most like Christians, they go to church on Sundays, right? And they try and live a moral life. Living a moral life is not necessarily a pure life. They try and avoid gross sinful activities. But still, they might be eating meat, and they might be doing other things, like having illicit sex and so forth. So the main thing about Krishna consciousness is we have strict rules and regulations that liberate us from all sinful activities. Sinful activities means you forget things that help you forget Krishna, and then you become sinful when you forget Krishna. Like, for example, you might not offer your food before you eat. You might engage in activities like in business, you cheat people. So any type of activity like that, even though that you might go to church on Sunday, or you might come to the temple on Sundays, that is, and the rest of the days you engage in some type of sinful activity, that means you haven't really understood anything about spiritual life. Spiritual life means you are the same whether you come in the temple, or whether you're working, or whether you go to school, or in all situations you are following the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness. Right? No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. Always chant Hare Krishna, eat only Mahaprasadam, and regularly hear lectures given by bona fide devotees, and also engage in devotional service. This is the life of a devotee. When you engage like that, all your problems go away. And you get a chance also, especially in this temple, to pet a cow. Just like you're doing now. If you go to some farms where they let you pet cows, you can pay up to $300 to do that. Cow petting it's not cheap. You can go. There are special farms where you can go to pet cows. Why don't you look that up? How much does it cost to pet a cow? But you come here, you can pet the cow for free, right? And the cow's not running away from you. In fact, the cow's licking your hand. Whenever cows lick your hand, that means that's showing their affection. Like Radhika, she always licks Janavatsal's arms and hands and everything because he's like her father. Is that right, Jana? Yeah. Does it say anything?
Depends on the location as well. Location.
Yeah.
But sometimes it costs in between like $50 to $100 per session.
To pet a cow.
Per session. I don't know what the session is.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you go other places, you have to pay $50 to $100 to pet a cow. See? You come here, you can pet the cow all day long. Why? Because we're not businessmen. But we want people to love cows because Krishna loves cows, right? If Krishna loves cows, then you know it's the right thing to do. Most people, they love their dog, but we love cows. And dogs, well, we leave them alone. See? So we want to follow Krishna's lifestyle, not the materialistic lifestyle. So dogs are not meant to live in the house because everything about a dog is contaminating. The pee of the dog is contaminating. The stool of the dog is contaminating. But the pee of the cow is purifying, and the stool of the cow is also purifying. So there's a major difference between a cow and a dog. And therefore, if you want to have a pet, you should definitely have a cow. Right? And there are miniature cows that you can get. They're a little expensive, but like Modi has miniature cows. He loves cows a lot. Hare Krishna. Okay, any other questions anybody may have? All right, if not, then we will stop tonight and chant Hare Krishna first a little bit, and then we'll go to sleep. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bolo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Bolo Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Bolo
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopal Jaya Jaya.
Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jaya.
Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopal Jaya 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 Jaya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Shri
Hare.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya, Gaura Bhakta Vinda.
O Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gaura Bhakta Vinda, Gaura Bhakta Vinda.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribo, Nitai Gaura, Haribo,
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo,
Nitai Gaura, Haribo, 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 Ola Haribo,
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Premanande ki
Jai.
jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Bo, Hare Bo. Hey Radhika, you got a good friend there. What's that? You did? Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Into the house. That's the real life. Well, you are reliving your younger days right now. Yeah, Radhika likes you. Oh yeah, it's very important. Haribo, Haribo. We're very happy that you love Radhika. Yeah, yeah, because they're the same cows. Hey, Radhika, you have a good friend here. Yeah, yeah. Radhika's a good cow. We like her. But, uh-oh, there we go. She's releasing her gas. She's right at home here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when she explained her, okay, this is my home.
Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Okay, Jana, Haribo, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Jana Prabhu.
Yeah,
Every day.
yeah. So let's see, today's what? Is it Saturday today or? Okay, so it's tomorrow's Sunday, right? So we. I'm not in hear you. Okay. Yeah, okay.